In our last session, we installed and tested the functionality of XAMPP on a PC. In this lesson, we are going to start XAMPP and we are going to add within XAMPP files and a folder structure for lesson folders. And it would also be any files that you want to run through XAMPP you would install in a similar way. As an example, I'm going to use the textbook files from a web-based introduction to programming by Mike O'Kane. It's a great example set, and this is a book that I strongly recommend. So the first thing we do, once we have our folder of course files, is unzip. I personally have never had issues using the default zip tool that's built into Microsoft Windows. I'll demonstrate how to do that now. It's very simple. So I'm going to right click on my zipped folder. I'm going to click extract all, and then I'm going to select extract, and it's going to show me the extracted files when complete. Now at the bottom I'm going to click the extract button. And this takes just a couple of moments. Now one thing you want to notice here, if you'll look at this file path, do you see that? A folder inside of a folder. That could be a lot of problem if you didn't recognize that, because things would not work. Very common issue that I see happening just because a folder was zipped and it created a folder inside a folder with the same name. Check and make sure that's not what's happening in your case. It's something you know to look for when you unzip your folder. Because I have this issue, what I'm going to do is shift click, and that means left click on the first item, hold down your shift key, and then left click on the last item. I'm going to right click, I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to go up one level in my breadcrumb trail. I can see the empty WebTech folder that I just took these files out of. I'm going to right click. I'm going to paste those files directly inside of the WebTech folder. So now we're going to delete that empty WebTech folder. You may need to watch this part a couple of times. That can be a little bit tricky, but it's definitely something you want to keep an eye out for. If you end up with a folder inside of a folder with the same name, you're going to be in a pickle because your files will not run. So we've got an unzipped WebTech folder. I've still got my zip folder. I want to get it out of the way so I don't accidentally do anything with it. Because I know I've saved a backup, I'm just going to drop it in my trash. So now the next thing we're going to do is move this WebTech folder into its correct location. In our little simulated server environment, I'm going to go to my File Explorer, and I'm going to go to my C drive where I have XAMPP installed. If I don't see it right off the bat, I can click names. It'll be alphabetized. They'll be really easy to find because XAMPP starts with an X. You can bring it to the top if you'd like. I'm going to double click on XAMPP. Now, the files that I want to work with, the files that I want to run, are going to always be placed inside the htdocs folder. I'm going to double left click on the htdocs folder, and now I'm going to drag my unzipped WebTech folder into the htdocs folder. Now it's time to make sure that this works. I'm going to close that part of the file structure. Now I'm going to go back in. I'm going out and then back in again so that you're thinking about each of these processes independently. I think it's less confusing that way. So now I'm going to go back into XAMPP. Avoid using quick access because you want to make sure that files and folders are where you think they are. I've done the default install, so XAMPP is located at the root of my C drive. I'm going to click on name and it'll sort it in alphabetical order. So I'm going to double click on XAMPP. I'm going to scroll down. And if you're not seeing the file extensions, remember how to do that. Click on the View tab at the top of the XAMPP window. And to the right, file name extensions do not show by default. It's just much easier, especially starting out, if you see the entire file name, including the extension. Okay, so I am going to double left click on XAMPPcontrol.exe. My window opens. I can lower the containing window for the time being. And now, remember, we start with Apache. I'm going to click my Start button. I've not changed port. We're still working with the default 80 port. It goes from yellow to green. My default port is running correctly. Now I'll click my MySQL. Awesome. Now I'm going to open up a browser. I do this in 2 steps because if something's broken, I want to know where it broke. So first I'm going to type localhost. And remember, I just have to type localhost now because I have not changed a port. It's the default port, so that's all I need. Okay, awesome. This shows me my XAMPP installation is running and everything is as it should be. So now I want to check and see if my folder for my coursework files is also correct. Now you'll notice that we don't need to add htdocs to the file path. That's understood. We're going to delete dashboard in the URL. We're going to leave the /, and now we're going to type case sensitive WebTech, all lowercase, no spaces, and now we're going to hit enter. Alright, this is exactly where we want to be, on the landing and information page of our coursework files WebTech folder. This is our entrance page to our coursework for the textbook. Congratulations, you've installed XAMPP. It's running correctly in its default location with its default ports, and you've unzipped the coursework files, and you've moved them to the correct location inside XAMPP, inside the htdocs folder. And now you're ready to work. Next video will be about changing ports. Come back and see us. Hope you find this very helpful. Have a great day.